Yeah, hello all. So today we are going to cover the SQL Masterclass Part 2. So I have already shared the Part 1 with you. So this is a Part 2. So till Part 1 we have learned about how to create the user access and how to grant user access to them privileges, and as well as how to create a table also we have seen. Okay. So apart from that, uh, today we are going to discuss, I think we have discussed up to constraint creations and all, and we have created one table at the last, right? Now, today we are going to discuss about the constraint namings and altering and some operators in SQL also. Okay, so let me go to the table. So this one. So naming constraints. So we know that we create a constraint or we'll declare a constraint while creating the table. We know. But how we'll get to know why we need to create the constraint naming and what is the use of creation of the constraint naming? Let me show you. Okay. So if I want to give a constraint name, for suppose, let me create one sample database. Sorry. Create database, something I'll create as practice. Okay, I'll create something called as practice. Fine. in this database in this database, let me create a table. Okay, I'll create a table called as fee payment underscore TBL, where I'll give stdid stdid um where stdid I'll give as integer, and here I will give the constraint naming primary key, everyone knows. Okay, and std name I will give. Std name is varchar. The data type I need to give 30, and as well as I'll give one thing called as not null. Okay, constraint naming I'll give, provide it as not null. After providing this name, std name, I'll give something called as fee amount, some more column. Fee amount, definitely it will be in decimal. Okay, 10 comma 2 I'll give, and which I'll specify fee amount also not null. Okay, not null. Let me provide default. Default default is 0. Okay, and I want to check fee amount should be greater than equal to 0. Why? Because this is one of the check we will provide, because sometimes the people may give minus values also where it will not take. Okay, fine. The last one is fee status. The fee status we can give enum, and then this enum I'll give paid. Okay, and unpaid, as well as pending. That's it, pending. So this is what the table I'm creating with I'm giving constraints. Okay, and one more thing I told over here, when I'm declaring the table with constraints, for just your kind of understanding I'm giving, I need to first provide the column name column name, then I need to provide only one data type, only I need to provide. Okay, remember, only one data type only I need to provide, and after that I can provide multiple constraints. Okay, but those should be valid constraints. Fine. So here I'm providing multiple constraints. If you see, these two are multiple constraints. Default is one constraint where I'm putting default what we call it as fee amount as 0, and as well as check constraint I'm giving where fee amount is greater than 0. So these are the two things, but these things should get validated or it should be in sync with the column if you are providing multiple constraints. Okay, now let me run this. Okay, fee payment table already exists, but I have created one database right now. Okay, not this database. Let me double click on practice. Now let me run it. So this table got created successfully. Okay, now I'll give the whatever the constraints that I have given over here. Okay, I will define a name for those constraints. You will get to understand why I'm giving the names. Okay, you'll get to understand why I'm giving the names. So in this particular primary key, I'll give one name for it. Okay, and one more thing. If I want to give constraint names, first of all, I need to mention constraint. What is a constraint? And as well as constraint name. Okay, what is a constraint type and to which column I'm giving the constraint name. This is what the syntax. If I give constraint names, right, it will be a meaningful names. See, why means when you're writing anything error, it will provide an error for you for sure with the constraint name so that you can easily able to identify, okay, for this particular column I'm giving this particular error, so you can directly go to that column and debug on it. Okay, but you will understand when I show you practically. Okay, do not worry on it. But right now, this is what the syntax that I need to give. Okay, if I create one more table with constraint names, how it will be? So let me create table something called as fee payment underscore one. Okay, new table I'm creating now with constraint names. Let me give stdid int, and I won't provide constraint name over here. Okay, I'll provide whatever this primary key is there when I'm giving the name. Okay, so that's very much helpful. Okay, now put a comma and declare how many columns are there for you, and before that now I'll mention constraint. This is a keyword that I need to use if I want to give constraint name. And what is a constraint name that I want to provide? Something I'll say, because stdid is a primary key, so I will give pk underscore pk underscore to which column. Pk is a primary key. To which column I'm giving for stdid. This is what the name that I want to provide. Okay. Okay. After that, what is a constraint type that I want to give? The constraint type I want to give is primary key. Primary key. In the brackets, I need to provide to which column I'm providing this particular key. I'm providing this for std id. Need to put a comma. Okay, so this is how we name a constraint. Whenever we are naming, see, if you won't name a constraint also, nothing wrong, the table will get created. But at the end I'll show you the difference, what makes the exact meaning of create naming the constraints. Okay, so now what I'm doing, when I'm naming the constraint, I won't provide my constraint names when I'm defining the column definition. Okay, in this column definition, simply I will give only column name and data type. That's it. And while giving the constraint naming, I will give something called as constraint keyword. With that, I will name my constraint. It could be any name that you are naming. stdid column is named is a primary key. Okay, then I need to give my constraint, which is primary key, to which column I'm providing this one. So this is a first column. Okay, and second column is varchar, okay, 30, and I need to give not null. Remember one thing, remember one thing, when I'm giving the constraint names, there is one key point is there that I can't provide constraint naming for a default and as well as not null. These are the two constraints where I can't give constraint names. If you provide the constraint names also, the MySQL will not take. Okay, MySQL will not take for sure. Now, when I'm over here, so I can't provide constraint name for this particular not null. So I will define as it is column name, this particular data type, and as well as not null. That's it. Now, what is my next column? My next column is fee amount. Fee amount. So for the fee amount, I need to give the data type over here only. And as I told, I can't provide constraint name for default also. So I will declare default here itself, default 0. Okay. I'll put comma here. Next, I will give the constraint name. What is a constraint name? To provide a constraint name, first of all, I need to write a constraint keyword. And after that, what I will give, I'm giving check constraint. So I will do chk underscore to which column I'm giving. See, it could be any name that you can provide. Okay, but for the readability purpose, I'm providing chk is a check constraint. For fee payment table, I'm providing that particular value. Okay, now I will provide this particular check constraint value. Okay, so I'm providing check constraint where the fee payment to which table I'm providing to fee payment table, and I'm defining the condition it should be greater than 0, comma, come down. And what is the last one? Last one is fee status. For enum also, there is no need to provide the constraint name for it. Okay, if you want to provide also, that's your wish, but it won't get reflected because it's not a unique value, or it's not a not null value, because it will be almost not null only, because so many paid people will be there, so many unpaid people will be there, so many pending people will be there. Okay, so no need to give value for it. Okay, I will give unpaid and pending. Okay, now I'll close like this. So this is what, close this one. So this is how I create table with constraint naming. Okay, first of all, I will give this particular ID, my column name, and as well as I will define my integer, or my define my data type. Coming to the next row, not only next row, after that, when you want to name that particular constraint, no need to give the data type in the column definition. You need to provide, or you can provide at this particular constraint definition things. Okay, I'll define constraint and I'll give pk of stdid, means you can provide any name. It's not like you need to provide like that. For the readability purpose, I'm giving primary key is being given to the stdid, and primary key student id, std name varchar not null. For not null, as I told, we can't give constraint naming, so not null I have defined here only. Okay, fee amount, decimal, and as well as default. Okay, default also, as I told, we can't give, but for the check constraint which I defined before over here, I can define it. So that's why for the check constraint, I'm defining over here. Check fee amount, check constraint fee amount is greater than 0. Fee amount is this one. Okay, but this is looking a bit clumsy. Okay, so what you can do, you can just copy all your constraint names. Okay, constraint name, just give like constraint naming like that, just paste it here, just paste it here. Do not mix with the column definitions. Okay, do not mix with the column definitions. I think only two constraint names we have provided. We can remove those two names. Happily, we can remove those two names. And just first of all, define your all the columns. Okay, so this comes under column definition. This comes as a column definition and this is a constraint, but here it is showing error. Why? Because after this fee status also I have pasted this constraints over here, so I need to put comma over here and I need to remove comma because code, this is the last column. So this is how it's a readable format. Actually you can easily understand. Okay, std id, fee, std name, fee amount, as well as status, these are all the column definitions, and these two are the constraint names that I have provided for std id and as well as fee amount. I hope you clear with how to give the constraint naming. Okay, so this is how I give this particular, see, table got created successfully. Okay, now Rohit, please tell me why I need to give the constraint naming and all. Okay, let me give one insert statement. Insert into, insert into fee payment underscore TBL. Okay, where what are the values that I need to provide, because this fee payment table doesn't have any value, so I will give 101 comma, what is the STD name? Let me give my name Rohit, and as well as fee amount. I told the fee amount should be greater than 0. So here I will provide minus 50,000 like this. Okay, which makes an error for me. Okay, I need that error. So after that, what I'll give after that enum, I'll give something called as paid. Okay. So here what happened is, whoever the receptionist is there, okay, what she has done, this particular Rohit has paid the amount, okay, paid the amount, but unfortunately, here I have given minus 50,000. So she has unfortunately entered minus 50,000, but he paid the amount actually. Okay. So here now, here I need to forgot to give values. Let me give values. Okay. Now let me run this particular query. So if you see, I got some error over here. I got some error over here. Let me paste this error here. Okay. Let me remove. I don't want all these things. I just want this error statement. That's it. Okay. So what is the error it is showing to me? It is showing that there is some check constraint error because I have violated the check constraint in the fee payment table CHK1. Okay, this is what constraint naming that was given by MySQL defaultly. You don't know at what column this particular error is getting for you. Okay, okay, fine. Let me give another insert statement for this constraint name creation that I have done for this particular fee payment one. Okay, same thing I'll do because same table both the ends, but in this particular table I have given constraint names, but here also minus 50,000. Okay, let me run this one. Here also I got an error. Okay, let me copy this particular error for me, paste it here. Okay, let's remove this all the unwanted. This is the insert statement that I have given. Okay, violated this one. See, there is a lot of difference is there for the first error and the second error. This CHK fee amount was defined by me. It was defined by me. I have given the constraint naming. But this fee table CHK1 was given by MySQL directly. Okay, but here you can see this check amount got violated or check constraint got violated for fee amount column. you could able to identify, okay, from the fee amount column I have given the error. So immediately you will go to this fee amount column and you will correct this particular what we call it as insert statement, and you will give immediately. But in this particular thing, how you could able to identify, how you could able to identify, you are having, for suppose in real life you are having so many columns are there. So at that time what you will do, you can't do anything. You go to each and every column and check where this particular things got violated. No, it's very difficult. For suppose if so many insert statements are there with you, some 200, 500, 600 insert statements are there. So at that time what you will do, you will do the same thing. It's a very hectic thing. So that's why the constraint naming is very important. You need to name the constraint for sure. So this is how you need to name the constraints. And so after this I'll create a table. Okay, after this I'll create a table, do not worry, with all the what we call it as data types, all the what we call it as constraints and all the things I'll show in the table. Okay, fine. Now, as I told, this constraints I have created constraint namings and all, where it will get stored, where it will get stored. So let me remove this entire stuff. Okay. Now, I told there is one database is there with MySQL, okay, where whatever the users that you have created, whatever the columns you have created, whatever the tables you have created, whatever the constraints you have created, triggers, views, all the things, the MySQL have one default database. As I told, the database name is, okay, database name is information schema. This is what the database that MySQL has. Okay, if I do use info schema database, see, it ran successfully. Like how you have created college DB, practice DB, Sakila, all this DB, SQL has its internal one database is there where it stores all the operations that you will perform in MySQL. Okay, the thing is information schema. If I type use information schema, it will use information schema. If I type use practice, it will use practice database. But as of now, I want to use this one. Okay. Now, let me select, this info schema has, as I told, this info schema, if I type tables, I will get all the table records. How many tables are there in SQL? If I give columns, it will get all the columns for me. If I give table constraints, it will give all the constraint values for me. Okay, if I give check constraints, it will check all the constraints like that. How many triggers you have created, how many views you have created, how many functions you have created, like that, how many parameters you have created. So like that, there are so many things are there that you can check. For example, if I do select star from tables, because I'm already using this information schema. If you are not typing information schema before, type like this, database now name dot what are the tables. Okay, so let me remove this one. This tables is a table. Okay, if I run this one, see, I will get how many tables are there in MySQL. Okay, where if I select table schema, yeah, if I select where table underscore schema is equal to, if I give college DB or if I give practice that I have created just now. Okay, if I give like this practice, let me run this one. See, these are the two tables that I have created just now, fee payment one and as well as this one, these two. So it will give how many, how is the data length is there, at what time it was created, and these are all so many things it will be given for me. Okay, so this particular table stores how many tables are there in this particular MySQL. Okay, so even I can directly search with table name also instead of typing this one. If I type with the fee payment underscore TBL, so simply it will return me, yeah, this TBL status is there for you. Why? If I search with table name, it will show this fee payment table is there in practice database, as well as this fee payment table is there in college DB also. So there are two tables are there. This particular information schema is very handy for you. It stores all your columns, rows, all the things in MySQL. Okay, if I give columns instead of this one, okay, let me run this. If I give columns, see, it will give how many column names are there for me. For suppose, let me search for stdid, okay, where I will give something called as where here also I'm having table name, and as well as here also I'm having table schema also. Okay, if I give uh, just now I have created one practice DB. Okay, let me refresh this one. It will not get. If not, there is one table name called as fee payment table. Within this fee payment table, I have created some columns of stdid. I want to know, go to the stdid name. Okay, now what I will do, if I want to go like that, if I want to go like that, first of all I'll click on columns. Okay, then I will give where where table name. First of all I need to give table name is equal to, what is a table name? Fee payment underscore one. Okay, I need to give the provide the table name properly. Okay, without having any errors. And 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 what is the other thing? The other thing is, let me take stdid. Okay, now I'll take where column name is equal to stdid. That's it. If I run this, see, you will get yes for the table name of fee payment one. There is one column called as std name, like that. So it will show like that. Okay, now this is fine. If I want to view the table constraints, okay, let me give table underscore constraints like this. Okay, let me run this one. I don't know whether this statement is right or wrong. Yeah, it's right. This is a right table only I came with. Okay, now let me check the table constraints. Okay, so first let us check the, okay, constraint name for the table that I have created before in this particular without naming constraints. So first of all, I have created one fee payment table now without giving any constraint values and all. So first of all, I'll check those constraint name, how those constraint names are provided for me. Okay, now I'll check table name fee payment table. So table name is fee payment table I have given. And what I need to do, this fee payment table is there in this particular college DB also. So I want to search only in this particular practice DB. So what I need to give, one more condition I need to add. And what I need to give, table underscore schema is equal to, so I want to search in practice DB. That's it. Practice DB. Let me run this one. See, I got in this practice DB, there is one constraint is there. Okay. There is one constraint, only two constraints only I have provided. If you see, I have provided only for check constraint and as well as primary key. These are the two things only I have provided. Okay. So these are the two things only I have provided. So it will give from which schema it was, constraint schema it was, and what is a constraint name primary key for this particular table name fee payment table, and constraint type is also primary key. For primary key, How many names you could able to give, it will. So now, I got to know that I'm having this particular what we call it as fee payment table has, let me run this one. So as I got to know that this particular constraint name of primary key, but I don't know this primary key belongs to which column and all. Why? Because this is a MariaDB behavior or MySQL DB behavior. What it will do means the in constraint namings and all, there are some constant rules are there, like let me go over here. If I'm giving constant names, first of all, I can't provide provide constraint names to, as I told, default and check constraint. This is one of the first thing you need to understand. And second thing, if you want to go and one, if you have provided primary key, and you have provided one name, okay, defaultly it will show as primary key only. If you go in this particular info schema and check also information schema in this particular table constraints also, if you go to this particular table and check this particular thing also, it will show as a primary key. But how you get to know that what is a primary key for the particular thing? So simply there is one command is there, you need to type, see, note down all these things. show keys Show keys from we are asking to show the keys from from which table. From, first of all, I need to type the database. I need to type practice database practice database dot. I need to give the fee payment table 1. Okay, let us give for fee payment table, and let me run this one. If I give this particular command, it will show, okay, for fee payment table has one primary name, and for this particular student ID, for student ID, it is a primary key for this particular table. Okay, for one more table I have given fee payment 1. If I run this one, see, I will give the primary key for this. It will show me what is a primary key for this particular table. So only for primary key only the MySQL behavior is like that. If you want to know what is a primary key for that particular table and column, simply type this command. That's it. Okay, so there are few options are there, how to check your constraints, how to check your things and all, and this is one, the second method. Okay, this is to check the primary key column, this one, and this is to check all the column names, tables, constraints, all the things. This is the first one, and the next one is, there are few things are there to do inspection and all. Simply you can write describe also, to describe about the table, describing about the table. Simply I can write like this, or simply I will write DESC describe, just I will write the table fee payment 1. That's it. Simply if I run this particular thing, I'll get to know what describe. I need to write table, table. I think I need to provide the this particular database practice dot, I think so. Let me run this one. Yes, I need to provide the database name, or I didn't selected my database name over here, so that's why it is showing like this. So it will show me all the description. Okay, what is the data type? This is a field, student ID having int type, which is a primary key, but it will not show that much information about the things and all. The other one is unique key, decimal, all these things like that. It will only show whether your things are null or not. It's not null. It should not be null. Not null. Fee amount can be null, and this one also can be null. Only not null you can check like that only whether that particular table is null or not. So this is describing about the table. This way you can describe about the table also. Okay. And and there is one more thing is there. For suppose if you want to view what the table you have created, what is the structure of table that you have created, that create statement. See, show. Now I need to write show create table fee payment underscore TBL1. Anything, any table. Let me run this particular table. I'll get what is a table that you have created. See, you copy it and paste it over here and you can review it. What is a table that you have created? See, these things, it was not created by you, it was created by MySQL. And by this manner, you can review that, okay, this is a fee payment. This was created by us only, right? Previously. So this is how I can review. Okay, here also the primary key I have given as stdid. Constraint I have given check constraint for this particular one. So these are the three inspections that we can do to check our constraints, tables and all. See, again, I'm telling one more time to check all the things like tables, columns, table constraints, check constraints, triggers, views, functions, all these things. I will use something called as infer schema or infer schema database. See, here I can write infer, sorry, information schema, information underscore schema dot table names. That's it. So this is a database and this is a table name I'm giving. So if whatever the table I'll give, those results I'll get. Okay. If I want to view the primary key column, simply I need to write show keys from this particular database and as well as table name. Enough. If I want to describe about the table, simply I will write describe database and as well as table. If I want to view what create statement I have given while creating this particular thing, simply I'll give show create table and as well as this one. I hope this is the entire thing how you validate your tables or our tables. That's it. Okay, this is a concept of validating all our tables. Okay. Now, let me create one big table for you. Okay, which consists of what we call it as with constraint names and all. Okay, with full table where I have created this table lastly before. Here I'm using all foreign keys and all the other things also over here. Okay, let me drop those two tables I have created. Those are unnecessary. Fee payment one and as well as drop table. Okay, fee payment underscore TBL. Okay, let me drop these two tables. So if already the people know about it, they can watch it. If not, they can leave it. No issue. Okay. Now, let me create one table for you. Okay, which is department table is also there. Okay. First of all, let me create a department table where because I am referring one foreign key as a depart from this department table to my current table, fee student table. Okay, or fee payment table. So let me take create table. Okay, department underscore TBL. Okay, I'm using, let me give practice also or not issue. If I won't give practice also, simply I will tell at the above use practice. Simply if I write like this also, for suppose if I'm there in some other database Sakila, if I give use and as well as this particular database name, okay, now it is in the use of practice. If it is in Sakila also, if it is in the use of practice, you can see practice is in highlighted mode. Now I'm creating department table. Okay, where what is a department table consist of? Department table consists of department id. Department id is int. See, with constraint naming I'm giving. Okay, with constraint naming I'm giving. So first of all, I'll define my table names. Department id int. And what is the next one? Dpt underscore name. Department name, what is a department name? Could be uh it could be not null, unique only. Why? Because uh, unique values are there in departments. There are no other repeated what we call it as departments will be there. So what I'll give for this also, I need to give varchar. First of all, I'll give varchar 30. So these are my column definitions for done. Now I need to give the constraint naming. See, that's why I haven't given any constraints over here. Haven't given any constraints over here. Okay, now if I want to give constraints, simply I will write constraint. Okay, the first thing I need to write constraint. Then what I need to write, I need to provide a name for it. Simply I'm providing pk underscore dept underscore id. That's it. I'm providing primary key for this particular department id. And what I'm giving for it, I'm giving it primary key. To which column I'm giving this primary key? I'm giving for this particular dept id. This is the first thing. What is the next constraint I need to give? Constraint I need to give dpt underscore name. I need to provide for this dpt name which constraint I am providing. I'll provide unique constraint. Unique constraint to which column? dpt underscore name. So this is my parent table that I'm creating. Till now all my things got completed, and this is a column definition. Okay, and this is a things. For this is my first table. Okay, let me run my first table. It was created successfully. Okay, and one more thing. This particular department id I'm using as a foreign key. Foreign key to to which table I'm using? To fee payment table, which is my child table. Okay, this particular department table is a parent table that you need to understand for sure. Okay, so let me comment out all these things. Comment out, just if you want to comment out like this, select the things, put control and as well as backspace. That's it. Or what is a question mark? You are having the tab, right? Just click control, hold it, and with that give that question mark one. So it will give. So this is a text basically. It's not a code. It will not run in the real case. Okay. Now let me create this particular what we call it as the other table. Okay. Now see here, if you are having any doubts in this particular what we call it as uh, constraints, data types, and as well as constraint naming and all the things I'm including in this particular table. So please view it and watch it very carefully. Okay, table. I'm creating something called as fee payment table. Already I have dropped the previous table, so that's why it will not throw an error for me right now. See, I'm only having one table in this one particular tables within this practice DB, which is department table. Okay, so now I'm creating the table. Let me open it. Okay, fine. First of all, here I will include so many things. Okay, so many things. Like, let me give payment underscore ID. What is a payment ID that was done? This is a column name. I'm giving int. I will give not null, not null column. Not null, I told not null. For not null constraint, I can't give constraint naming and all. So that's why not null I'm defining over here. And this payment ID should get auto increment. For auto increment also we can't give auto underscore increment. So the first payment, if I'm inserting the first record will be treated as the first one, and it will just auto increment like this. We do not need to give the payment ID separately. Auto increment. After that, I want to give std id, student id. Student id also I'm giving int, and it should not be not null. That one also I'm giving. Okay, and comma, come down. At the last I give the constraint names. At the last I will give constraint names. Okay, now I'll give dpt underscore id. This dpt id is a foreign key, but because I'm giving my constraint names and all, at last I will provide the this foreign keys and all. So please watch it till end. Int not null. Good. Now let me give some string types. Okay, string types. What are the string types that are available for me? String types which are available for me are std name, std name, where I'm giving varchar 30. Let me give varchar 30 and not null. So here I have used something called as varchar for std name, and receipt number, something I'll take receipt number which the student have paid the record. Receipt number or receipt number like this. Receipt number. Receipt number, let me give character, something 12 characters I will give, not null. Characters means only alphabetical numbers only, alphabets only. Okay. After that, something I'll mention remarks. Okay, remarks. Remarks I will give as text. Text is a one of the string data types where if I write lot of descriptions and all, like this student didn't pay the fee properly, or this student is not attending the classes properly, so at that time I will use for text data type instead of using varchar or character. Okay, come down right now and let me go to the next one, which is a numeric type. Okay, numeric types. So in this numeric types, what are the numerical values that I could able to enter? Let me give fee amount. Okay, let me uncheck this for some time. Okay, let me give fee amount, and fee amount everyone know it is in decimal format. Let me give 10 comma 2, 10 comma 2, and everyone know that fee amount should be default, it should be in 0. Everyone know this. Come down. The next one, what I can give, I'll give something called as fine amount. For suppose if student didn't pay the fee at proper time, so definitely we need to fine him. Okay. So for this fine amount also, it will be in this particular decimal values also. Let me give in decimal. And fine amount should be default. It should be in 0 only. Okay. It should be 0 only. Okay. Because we can't give fine in the beginning stages. So it should be in 0. Okay. After that, paid amount. Paid amount means how much the student paid. So for this one, I'll give decimal 10 comma 2. This should be also in default 0. Why I'm providing default over here? Why? Because for default I can't give constraint namings and all. Okay. Now numeric types. Now this is one new concept. This is generated columns, as we have discussed in our previous classes also. So there should be some total amount. Total amount. What is the total amount? Total amount, let me give the total amount. This particular what we call it as data type also, 10 comma 2, only one data type I need to provide. What is the total amount? Total amount is the fee amount plus the fine, what we call it as fee amount plus fine amount. So if for suppose student didn't have, for suppose the fee amount is, let us take 20,000. Okay, and he don't have any fine, 0. So what is the total amount? 20,000 plus 0 will be stored as a total amount. Okay, how much he need to pay, how much student need to pay, that is a total amount. Okay, yeah, it's working fine. So Total amount. So what I need to write? I need to write generated always. If you write generate only, you will get that particular column generated always. As always, this total amount, what it should do, this generated always will is helpful to do column calculations automatically. Here I will write, first of all, I need to write what is a condition. The condition is always it should add fee amount plus as well as fine amount. I will write like this simply. Okay. After that, I should not forget to mention stored. Stored mean what it will do. Always this column will add fine amount plus fee amount values, and that will be stored in this particular total amount. That's it. Okay, so you can mention this below also, no issue. Below also, if you are not interested to store in the first one, no issues. After that, what? Let us take due amount. Due amount. What is a due amount? Decimal of 10 comma 2. Okay. What is a due amount? Due amount is total amount, total amount minus pay amount. So this is a paid amount. Paid amount means what? How much student paid finally. Okay. Due amount means what? What is a total amount? This is a total amount. If I take total amount minus paid amount, it will give the balance amount, how much he need to pay, right? That is a due amount. So for this also, I will take generated always as I'll take total underscore amount. Okay, you need to mention the column names correctly. Okay, it should not be like whatever the columns that you will mention, it will happen. No, you need to mention column names correctly. Of course, if you are not giving in case sensitive, that's okay, but you need to give the column names for sure in a correct manner. Okay, total amount minus I need to give what I need to do. I need to do paid amount. That's it. I need to type stored. See, here I'm writing in small case, but nothing will happen. Okay, stored. This is what about generated columns. Let us take for now enums columns. Okay, enum columns. What is the enum columns? Payment status. Payment status. Payment status. What I need to give? I need to give enum. And what could be the status? Unpaid, unpaid, paid, and as well as what could be the other one? Pending. That's it. These are the three columns. Okay. But I am giving one more thing. Default it should be in unpaid. That's it. Default it should be in unpaid. That's it. Comma, come down. After that, what is the thing? After that, let us take date. Date. What could be the dates? Date column. Let us take at what time he has done payment date. Payment date. Payment date, I'll give date. I will give date. And I will give default, default, default. It should be in current date. That's it. Okay. Default, it should be in current date. Okay. Now, till now, this thing had completed. Column definitions were completed. These are all what? These are all column definitions I have given. Okay. Now I haven't given any primary key. I haven't given any unique constraint. I have only given for not null and as well as default because I can't name those things. Now let us give constraint naming. Okay. If I want to give constraint naming, everyone know I need to write constraint. Constraint. First of all, I'll give pk underscore. Pk underscore. For what I'm giving the constraint. See, one more thing, as I told in my first class, whatever the value that you are taking for auto increment, better to keep that particular column as a primary key also. That's a better thing that you need to do. Okay. And I have justified it why I need to give primary key for the auto increment. So I will give payment id, payment underscore id over here. And what I am giving, primary key, primary key. To which column I am giving? I am giving for payment underscore id, comma, come down. What is the next column I need to give? Every time, whatever the receipt number that is getting generated to me in characters, okay, or receipt name or something, it should be a unique value. The receipt number or something should not get generated in whatever the values it want. Okay, it should get generated in unique. Okay, so I am going to give unique for that. Okay, let me copy this. Okay, paste it here. I'm going to give in UK. UK means unique. For what I'm giving, I'm going to give for RECEIPT, receipt underscore NO. And to which column I'm giving, I need to specify the column clearly. Okay, I need to specify the column clearly. And what is a constraint name I'm giving? I'm giving unique constraint, comma, come down. What are the two? What are the two? Now I'm going to give the check constraints. Check constraints to whom I want to say I need to check the fee amount and as well as the fine amount and as well as the paid amount. These three should be greater than zero only. It needs to check before for sure. It needs to check before for sure. Okay. Those amounts should be greater than 20 only. Okay. So 20 not zero only. For that, what I need to give? I need to give constraint, constraint. CHK means check. To which I am giving, first of all, I am giving to fee amount, fee amount. Now I will give check, check. To which column I am giving? I am giving to fee amount. Okay, what is the condition? It should be greater than zero. It should be greater than zero. Same applies for fee amount and as well as fine amount. Fine amount, let me type fine amount and as well as the paid amount also. Okay, let me give for paid amount also, paid amount also. Okay, but I need to change these things, paid amount. I hope this is clear for everyone, but there is one more constraint left, which is the department id that I am getting as a foreign key from this particular department table. This thing everyone know, right? Now now let me give foreign key constraint with name. How I can give for this one also same format. I need to mention constraint. What is a constraint? FK means foreign key. To which column I am giving? I am giving to department id. What is a constraint name? Then I need to provide it is a foreign key. To which column I am giving? I am giving it to department id. Then I need to provide the condition, provide right to references, references. Okay, references. To which table it is getting references? It is getting referencing from department underscore DBL. Okay, and as well as this is from DPT ID, DPT ID. Okay, DPT ID. So in this particular department table, there is one DEPT ID. So from this particular table and column, our particular department ID is getting reference. That's it. And I want to provide something called as on delete, restrict, on delete, restrict, comma, and on delete, cascade. That's it. I think I have explained this in my what we call it as my particular old video and all. What is a restrict and cascade and all. Yeah. So here I'm giving date, okay, and as well as current timestamp, okay, as well as on delete restrict and on delete cascade. I hope these things I have told in my first video while creating the tables. Let me run this table, create it. Invalid default value for payment data. What is that payment date default value? I think I need to give date and time. Date and time. Let me run this one. Yeah, now it got created. Why it shown error means, see, for this particular payment date, I'm giving current timestamp. Means what? With the date and as well as timestamp. With both date and time it will show. But I have given only date. I haven't given time. So, which violated the things over here. So this is how you will name the constraint and you will create all this stuff. Okay, see here I have mentioned all the data types, all the things for you. This is very important for the things that you want to do. Okay, now table creations are done. Table creations are done. Okay, table creations are done. Now, what is the next step? The next step is we need to alter our tables. Altering tables. We will not use the table that we have created just now. Let me use one empty table which is there with me. Okay, let me use this table. Okay, it's a very short table and for you also it is easy for you to understand. What is a altering tables? Altering tables means, for suppose if my table was already created, okay, by mistakenly I haven't done some, I need to do some alterings, okay, I haven't done it, or I need to add few constraints, or I need to add one more column, or I need to drop one unwanted column and all. So these are some new alterings we need to do in our existing table. So for that I'll use alter tables. Okay, let me create this table. Okay, so these are all table creation alterings will perform on tables only. There is no relation with data and all. Data modification is a separate thing. Now till now we are discussing all the things about the DDL only. Data data definition language. So on this part only we are learning. We are creating the users, tables, altering the things, and also we are doing those things. Okay. So now I have created this table called as student fee table. Okay. Now simple simple things are, if this is there is one common statement is there if I want to alter anything. If I want to alter anything, I need to use something called as alter alter table. Table I want to alter. Okay, table I want to alter. And what is a table name? Table. And below that all the things will come for me. Below that all the things will come for me. This alter table, or if I want to alter, first of all this is common syntax for anything. Okay, if I want to add anything, I will use a keyword called as add. For suppose if I want to add one new column, add column. These are the two things. Add column. Okay. Simply in my fee payment table, if I want to add some word who collected the fee, collector name and all, who collected the fee or receptionist ID, at what time they have created it like that. So I want to add. Add the column, adding new columns. If I want to modify anything, I need to use modify. What I need to modify? I need to modify the column. And what is a column name? You need to give like that. So let me do in hands-on. If I want to add, as I told, STD ID, name, department ID, fee amount, fee status. So with constraint names I have given, that's good. But if I want to add a column called as collector name, who collected the fee. At that time, what I'll do, I'll give alter, alter table. As I told, this is fixed. This is fixed. To which table I am doing alter student fee table. This one. I'm making alter on this particular table. Okay. Now what I need to do, I need to add a column. Add a column. What column I need to add? I need to add the column all as collector, collector name, collector name. This is a column name. And with that, I need to provide the data type also. Where char some 30 like that I need to provide. With that, I need to provide a data type. Okay. Okay. This is how I create one new column. If I want to add multiple columns, I'll just put comma. Again, I will give add column. One more column name I can, what I can say, created date. Something I'll give like that. Okay, created date. Or let me give as payment date. Payment date. At what time they have done the payment. What is the data type I need to provide for it? I need to provide data type as time stamp. Timestamp will help us to automatically enter the current timestamps and all. Okay. Default I will give as current timestamp. So what I'm doing in this particular fee table 2, something like that, I'm creating what we call it as I'm adding one new column of collector name. With that, one more column payment date. I have given the data type as this one. See, only this particular constraint only I could able to give. Okay. If I have given something called as not null over here, not null over here, I ran this successfully. It ran. Okay. Okay, so this is the what we call it as particular column. I'm adding a column. Column is one keyword, column name, what is a thing, data type, and what is a date constraint you want to provide. That's it. That's it. Not null and defaults are okay. Okay, fine. So now I have done means created it. If I want to select, simply select star from this student fee table 2. Let me select it. Okay, let me run this one. See, collector name and fee payment date columns also added. So I can't go to my create statement and add one more create for me. No, it will not happen. It will not happen. If you want to add one more column and all, and if you forgot to add this particular one, then you need to add like this only for sure. Okay, so let me remove it. Let us do some more alterings and all. Altering, what is the next altering that we can do? This time I'll modify. uh I have given my student name something, student data type. Let us take the old table. I have given std id, right? In Okay, I have given primary key, or let us take fee amount. Fee amount I have given int. I want to change the data type of this particular fee amount to decimal. Okay, this is my main agenda. Simply I told I need to write alter table and as well as table name I need to put. This time already my fee amount is there, and with that data type also is been associated with it. So this time what I need to do, I need to just modify it. Okay, just I will write modify. What I'm modifying? What I'm modifying? I am modifying fee amount. Fee amount. Now I need to give the data type that I want to give. I will give decimal 10 10 comma 2 like this. Okay, if I give like this, it will get modified. Okay, and if I want to add any constraint also, if I want to add any constraint also, I can add. Like for this particular fee amount now, I haven't added default constraint 0. Okay, I haven't added default constraint 0. So then what I will do, let me take this one, otherwise you will get confused a bit. Okay, fine, let me come down. Okay, so now what is a constraint I can add? Here also I can add simply default uh, is default is 0. I can give like this. I can add this particular what we call it as data type. With that I can add one this particular constraint also. Okay, fine. And I have given something called as payment status. Sorry, fee status. Fee status I have given paid, pending, and as well as unpaid. No, I do not want to see this pending. I want either the people should be paid or unpaid. So that one also I can change. Simply I'll put comma, come down. Again, this is multiple modifications and all. Simply what I'll do, I'll put fee status. For this one, what I need to do, I need to give enum. Within this one, I need to give unpaid, comma, and as well as paid. Only these things only I need to define. That's it. Okay, that's it. And I want to give a default as unpaid. So simply I can provide default as simply unpaid. So this is how I can modify my columns. See here, two columns I have modified. The fee amount is integer data type. I'm converting it to decimal. With that, I'm adding one this particular what we call it as constraint also, default constraint to it. And for fee status, I'm modifying to paid, pending, and unpaid to unpaid and pending enum, and giving default as unpaid, which I haven't given before. Okay, let me run right now. Mm, what it is not showing? Yeah, it had done successfully. This particular constraints added successfully. Okay, fine. This is how I modify my columns. Okay, this is the first one is adding the columns, adding new columns. Okay, this is how I modify the existing columns. That's it, columns. Okay, now comes the other part, how to change the column name. How to change the column name? Same I told, alter table fee payment, this is common. Okay, fine. Now if I want to rename any column, so simply I need to type this particular rename. and I need to give this particular column as a keyword, and then I need to give what is a name and what is a student name. So what is an old name and this is what is a new name. That's it. So apart from this, nothing is required. That's it. It ran successfully. Okay. So this is how we change the column name. For suppose if I select this table again, you can see the column name of this particular student name, STD name, got changed to this particular student name. Fine. Now, what is the other way? How you can add constraints? Constraints. For suppose if you miss to add any constraints while table creations and all, so you can add while altering the table also. Okay. So this is common statement. Everyone know. Alter. Let me copy it from the above. Okay. Copy and come down. Now, I told if you're adding anything, you need to add something called as keyword called add over there. And what you're adding, you're not adding any column this time, you're adding something called as constraint. Okay, constraint. I need to type constraint. What is a constraint that I want to provide? So here, as this entire syntax is known to you, right? Entire syntax is known to you. What was that? I need to provide, see, I need to provide to add a constraint to whom I'll add to payment collector name I'll add collector name I'll add because collector name I have given something called as varchar, right? So I'll add something called as uh, payment date. Let us add for payment date. Payment date we have added something, right? So we are having not that much amount of columns and all, so we'll add for payment date. Pay what is constraint. Now I need to give the constraint name. This syntax you know already because constraint syntax add constraint while you're creating the table you have given what is the constraint name. We need to give chk underscore payment underscore date. I'll give like this. Sorry, my mic had an option. So this particular add constraint I have added this constraint check. I have given this some date. Okay, so which is running in successfully, and my SQL is having some glitches, so that's why I'm facing few issues in this. Okay, and I think I have given this department ID. Okay, let us add new thing for department ID. I haven't given any foreign key, right? I haven't given any foreign key. Why? My department table is there for me, so I will take department ID from here. Okay, from department table. So I haven't added any foreign key while creating the table. I have just given department ID. That's it. Now let me add one foreign key. Okay, how I can add a foreign key? Simply alter this one first of all. Okay, now add constraint. Let me write below constraint. What is a constraint? fk underscore fk underscore dept underscore id. This is a dept id. Okay, what is a key? Foreign key. From which table one? What is a column? Current column in this particular student fee table 2, which is department id. This is I need to give. After that, what I need to write? References. References. From where it is referencing? It is referencing from department. Sorry, department underscore DBL table. From department table to which column I'm referencing? I'm referencing department ID. That's it. Okay. I need to give like this. If I want to add a foreign key, what it is showing duplicate foreign key consists of FK. Okay. I have already given this FK foreign key in this particular fee payment table when I'm creating. Okay. Let us give underscore one. Okay, something means it means already this foreign key name is there, so that's why it is showing me duplicate foreign key constraint name is all this constraint name is already exists in this. Okay, let me run. This one also got created for me successfully. So this is how I add constraints. Okay, if I want to drop the constraints that I have created, if I want to drop the constraints that I have created, what I will do, same, let me copy this one, because every time waste if I write. Okay, come down. Before I have done add, now I will give drop. That's it. Now I will give drop. For suppose, if I want to drop, uh, what is this check payment date? This one. Okay, simply I need to write what is what we call it as constraint that we have given. I have given check, and what is the name that I have given? I have given this check payment date. That's it. Okay, if I run this one, my particular thing will get vanished. Okay, check payment date has been dropped. If I want to drop multiple what we call it as constraints and all that I have created, what are the other two that I have created just now? Simply I need to write drop. If I want to, there is something called as unique constraint is there. Unique is not there. Okay, unique constraint is not there for me. There is something called department ID is there, fee payment table is there. If I want to drop, if for suppose, if I have created any unique constraint, if I want to drop unique constraint, I should not mention unique over here. It will give an error for you. In place of unique, you need to give index and UK something fee payment table, like that you need to give. Unfortunately, for this particular table, I haven't given any unique constraint. So if you want to drop any unique constraint, you need to give like this. This is to drop unique constraint. Yes. Now, now what is the other thing? Now the other thing. What statement should you need to give to drop? Okay. If you want to drop primary key, you need to give drop primary key. That's it. If you want to drop check constraint, check and name. What is the name that you have provided? If you want to drop what we call it as unique key, you need to provide index and as well as name. What is the name that you have provided for that particular unique key? If you want to drop foreign key, you need to provide foreign key, and you need to give something called as fk, something called as dept underscore id. That's it. For suppose if I want to drop the foreign key that I have created before, simply say like this. Oh, sorry, not this one. I will give yeah, for this I will give remove this one. What is the id I have given? Id underscore one. This one I have given. So if I run this particular thing, so it will drop the foreign key that I have added before, okay, to this particular table. See, dropped successfully. This is how you drop the constraints. Okay, these are all the text messages, so let me convert to text. And after that, how to what we call it as drop the um, columns. How to drop the columns? Simply, if I want to drop the columns, simply I need to give alter. Let me copy it from the top, copy, paste it, drop column. Column name is, what is the column names which are there for me? Let me remove this particular collector name. Instead of add, I will write drop. That's it. Okay. If I run this one, this particular column will get dropped. Like this, you can drop the columns. That's it. Okay. Now, if you want to rename the table, okay, for suppose the student fee DBL2, this is not good actually. If I want to rename table, how I can rename the table? Simply alter is common, sorry, this read alter, this one you need to give, you need to write something called as rename to, to what I am renaming, I am renaming to std underscore fee underscore tbl, I'm renaming to this. Okay, let me run this one. This table got renamed successfully. Okay, this student fee table got renamed successfully. Okay, so and what else is there? Select star from fee. Oh, no, I need to give std fee table. Let me type this one. Okay, so like this. So here the last thing I want to say. Now I want to reorder the columns. Reordering the columns. How I can reorder the columns? How I can reorder the columns? If I want to reorder the columns, I need to mention this one. I need to write modify. What I'm modifying? I'm modifying this payment, payment date, payment date. Uh, should come first. Payment date should come first. After this payment date, fee amount, fee status should come. Sorry, status. Okay, this is a date column, so I need to give date. Let me. So this after this payment date, this fee status should come. The fee status is before, after that the payment date is there. So the payment date should come first. Mm, practice dot not dot std fee table, std fee table. I have given to std. Sorry, student fee table. Ah, no, I have changed my column name now. Sorry, table name. I forgot it. This is a table name. Let me run. Now, now, if I select this particular table again, see. Okay, okay. Let me take it here, paste it here, take this one. Okay, paste it here. This is a date. I need to mention the date. Let me remove this. Fee status as I think fee status is varchar. I think so. Okay. Okay. If I reselect it again, yeah. Now see. Now my fee status will go back, and now my payment table will come first. I need to give whatever the table that should go back first and whatever the table that should come first. Okay, so these are all the alterings that we will do for our particular tables and all. So till now, till now, we have covered the DDLs. Okay, till now, let me give the last conclusion. Till now, we have what we have covered. We have covered the DDLs. What are DDL? Data definition G means we have only performed on table operations. Till now, what we have done in the first part and all, we have created users, and what we have done, we have created the users and we have created the tables. Okay, and we have grant access to users. okay, and as well as constraints, okay, and with constraints, constraint naming, and how to create a table. That's it. So we have seen a one type of table, single type of table only, how we can create a table. That's it. But there are some few types are there how to create a table. I'll explain that and I'll close it. Okay, that's it. Now we have seen one type of creation of our tables. Okay, type 1. Type 1, we will write create table, and table name. We know the table name. And now I will write what we call it as column name, data type, data type, as well as what is the what we call it as what is a constraints. If I have given constraints in this what we call it as without naming, I will write like this. If I give with constraint namings, in this constraints I can only provide, means I can provide not null and as well as default. Why? Because I can't name the constraints. Rest of the things I will give something called as constraint name. What is the name that I want to provide? What is a constraint that I want to give? Whether it is a primary key, or not a primary key, unique, and as well as check all the other things. Okay, so here I will provide, and on what column I'm giving. So I need to provide the column name. So this is a type 1 that everyone know that we have performed right now. Right. This is a type 1. Type 2 is type 2 is type 2 is I want to create table by referring some other table. I want to create table, and see, I want to create, let me go over there, create table, uh example, let me go over here, let me remove all these things. Okay, table creation types, that's it. Okay, how many types of table creations are there? So the first type everyone know. Let me go to the college db, let me go to the college db, and let me select star from. Okay, what are the tables are there for me? Let me go to fee payment table, fee payment table. Okay, let me run this particular table. Okay, so what I'll get from this one, I got this. Okay, now I had written some logic. Okay, some logic, like I want to take the people who belongs to department 10, and department 10 belongs to which branch for me, because I want to segregate as per the departments. Okay, I will write department underscore table. Let me select this one, run. So there is one department table, 10 belongs to mechanical. The management has asked me question, from the fee payment table, segregate the people who belong to department 10, and for them create a separate table by naming as mechanical table. What I will do at the time? What I will do at the time? I will write, I will write create table, table, table name something I'll name as mechanical underscore TBL. I need to, first of all, if I want to segregate, what I will write? I will write select. They told boss fee amount, due amount, fee payment, this fee status, total payment, due amount, fee amount. These all will be taken by finance team. No. Our faculty need to see how many people are there from the mechanical. So what columns do I need to select? I need to select student ID, comma, student name, comma, DPT underscore ID. These are the columns I need to select. From which table I need to select? From fee payment underscore TBL. If I select this one, I'll get only three columns from this particular fee payment table. Okay. But now I need to segregate the people who belong to the department ID 10. What I'll do, where DPT underscore ID, I'll write a condition equal to 10. Do not worry, this condition, where clause and all, I'll have some separate video. Watch that video after next. Okay. If I run this one, these are the people who got for me from the department ID 10. Now I want to create a table on top of it. Now what I'll do, I'll create a table for mechanical, as a mechanical table. I'll mention something called as. If I mention something called as create table, mechanical table, select star from all these people. See, if I run this entire statement, it creates a table for me. If I do select star from mechanical underscore TBL, see, I will get this particular table. So creating table based on query. This thing, what we call it as CTAS. CTAS means create table as select. That's it. This is what we call it as CTAS. Create table as select. CTAS, when we will use CTAS, now not only for this one. For suppose I am applying some changes on this particular fee payment table. Okay. I don't know whether those changes will get succeeded or not. Because of the changes, the table may be corrupted also. So at that time, what I'll do, I'll create a backup table. I'll create a backup table. So what I will do at that time, I'll select this entire thing. I'll get all the results, right? What I'll do, something called as create table. What is the table name I'll give? Fee payment, fee. I'll write same only, fee payment underscore TBL underscore BKP. BKP means backup. Okay. As, as from this particular entire table. Let me run this one. See, if I select star from this particular fee payment backup table, I'll get all the results which I'm having because I have selected all the columns, all the values without doing any filterings and all. Now happily I can make apply changes on this particular fee payment table. If anything happens, what I'll do, anyhow, I have discussed before alterings and all, I will just rename the table to fee payment table back. That's it. That's it. Simple. This is one type of table creation. This is another type of table creation, that is CTAS. CTAS. Okay. And there is one more table is there. Okay. Temporary table. Or one more table is there. As means it will give all the data. Right. For suppose if I want to create a backup table. Okay. Instead of as, I put like. Instead of as, if I put like, I do not need to mention select star from and all. Just I need to give the table name. That's it. Just I will give create table fee payment backup table like fee payment. Already this table is there. So let me write like something like this. If I run this one, it will get success, right? It will get created. If I select a star from this particular like fee payment like table, okay, if I run this one, see, it like means what is the main difference between like and as will give me the entire data with the table and it will give the data also for me. Like will only copy the schema or the table structure for me. That's it. It will not give data along with that. It will only give catch up the columns for me, and that's it. It will not give data. Like is used to take the schema, to take the schema. Only for that I use like. Apart from that, I won't use anything. I hope you understand what is the main difference between like and as well as. Now, last one. If I want to create a temporary table, okay, temporary table, same. Just I want to just I'll write create create table. Here I will write before the table. I will write something called as temporary table. Table name. I'll write temp tbl. Let me add one column std id std sorry std id int comma std name as varchar 30. Thus those are two columns I'm adding. That's it. Okay, varchar 30. That's it. Okay, if I add this one, okay, the table will get created successfully. Okay, I'll commit it also. I'll commit it also. Commit means saving the changes, but here my auto changes were enabled, so that's why I'm not doing it. Okay. Now, if I refresh this tab, see, mechanical table I have created. This is like table, backup table, again like table, okay, mechanical table, student table. You cannot see this particular temp table because this table will exist only for this particular session is there. If I close this session, this table will not be there. This will get expired. That's it. Simple. See, if I what we call it as select this table now, I'll get the results. But this table will not exist in this particular schemas. This table will be saved only for this particular session. If I close this session, this table will get expired. So that's it. This is what about the what we can say table creations. These are the types of table creations that we have. Hardly we have four types. That's it. Okay, so we have learned these things. So till now we have completed all our DDL language, DDL data definition language. So where we have done all the table operations only, we haven't entered into the data also. See, I have created the tables. Okay, I have created the tables. Okay, I can only do table operations. If I want to remove a column, I can remove a column. I can add a column. I can add a column. I can create a table. There are multiple ways are there. Okay, to do table operations and all, that is data definition language. So in this language only, once again at the last, I'm telling, sorry, once again at the last, I'm telling in this language only i can I can create databases and tables. I can create users I can create and on top of it I can grant access also. See, this granting access is a different language, that is what we call the DCL language, which is data control language. Means the people who can have control on this particular data will consist of this granting access. We can grant all privileges, we can grant all the with the grants and all. There are so many things are there with grant options and all. So these are DCL language. So we have created tables, and after that we have alter the tables, okay, and constraints with the constraint naming and naming and one more thing, what we have learned, all types of data types, all types of data types and all types of constraints, all all types of constraints, okay, all types of table creations also I have learned all types. So this is what my two videos consist of. If you have watched these two videos completely from starting to ending, which means you are quite confident in this particular what we call it as data definition language. This language is used by DBA admins who will manage the databases. They will use this one, and there are so many things are there, okay. So the next video is catch up with all the DMLs, how many kinds of inserts we can do, how many kinds of updates we can do, how many kinds of deletes we can do, and what is the select clauses and all, what are where clauses, how many operators are there. So that video will be catch up over there in the next part. So stay tuned, okay. Prepare the two videos very well. You will be confident in DDL creations and all. That's it for today. Thank you.